Hi everyone, I'm Tam, and we are back with another motivational talk. Forgiveness, as in when somebody does you wrong, undoubtedly does you wrong. So there's no like question. If you talk to the next person, your peer, whatever, like your superior, if you talk to anybody else on average, they will agree with you that this person did you wrong. So there's no dispute in this. Like it's not your imaginary, I guess, mindset that you rationalize yourself this way. Undisputably, you have been done wrong by this person for whatever it is. I've seen a lot of recent posts on social media, mostly Instagram, of people being SA'd, harassed in physically harassed in ways they don't want to be. Usually when they're like, young or whatever, and by older adults. Sometimes it's like a military sergeant and a newcoming recruit. And he kind of abuses his power. And kind of has his way with her, etc. Or it's like a teacher, student, and the teacher kind of like I guess grooms the student, whatever. So point is that the victim, so to speak, is not really at fault. Like they didn't know him better, so to speak, and now they're in kind of a kind of terrible situation, because they have to live with us, whether or not they want to. It's now like a part of like their history, moving forward, and also when I look back to it, it's not something to point to because you can't really point past that. We have to look at it. So it's kind of part of who you are now. So, likewise, perhaps you were bullied, whatever, by a classmate, and you wanted to take revenge. You have the feeling like you're being done wrong. You have a holding grudge and so on, holding grudges, and then you hear like people like I guess say like to forgive them, like people who haven't really been in that situation, trying to tell you to forgive them. And on one hand, I see the point, like to move on from this, sometimes you have to forgive. And on the other hand, like it's just kind of like you have no idea what this person just went through. You only have an idea of it. Yes, you have no idea what the experience was like as it is. You only have like I guess imaginary framework for it anyway. So you didn't actually suffer what this person suffered, and to say that is kind of like disrespectful, rude, and um, and yeah, pretty much what it is. You have no idea what this person went through. Yes, you have like good intentions and good advice. However, it's just not simply to forgive people. Forgiving people blindly is asking to get hurt again. This is what it is. To forgive without consequences, without something being done to teach this person that this behavior is not okay, or that this person has to change on a healthier path, and possibly possibly make things right with you is what it is. Because to forgive people without consequences is asking for it to happen to you again. Like yes, there are those who actually feel really bad for what they did, and they should be forgiven because they want to do better. And the only way you can also move on is in that case to also forgive them. It's a hard thing to do because this person like kind of like steered you wrong or kind of like did you wrong. You really have to see in their eyes that they have genuinely changed as a person to actually, take that step. And that's how forgiveness should actually work. Forgiveness is healthy, it is healthy because chances are you also have done things wrong to other people too. You probably have said things to other people that you were not aware of and kind of hurt them. So likewise, this goes back and forth. So um, so I mean, like to move past a certain obstacle, whatever that is, like I guess it's kind of like tragic events in your past, trauma, SA, like physically gets abused, whatever. You do have to sometimes cross the bridge of forgiveness, and you should only do that. You should only do that if you generally see in the other person's eyes that they are. They have changed and are seeking your forgiveness because they want to be a better person for themselves, you and other people. Only in that case should you ever cross that bridge. if the other person has like zero regrets for what they did to you, then clearly forgiving them doesn't really doesn't really benefit them at all, and probably will teach you that teach you bad behavior, that it's okay to forgive blindly to people, and you really get hurt even more down the process because those people have no reason to change. They'll just continue as they are until something kind of bad happens to them, where they kind of reflect upon themselves, like, oh well, this is not the path to walk down. Yeah. So forgive people who, when you look into their eyes, have generally, are generally sincere about the having done you wrong and actually trying to make things right with you, whatever, however they can. Like their whole heart is in this. Otherwise, you will just hurt yourself. And for those who are in a position where that's not the case, for example, as I said, like the other person really has no regrets for whatever they did to you. Like they're like they have like zero remorse for what they just done to you. Similarly, you kind of have to see them for what they are because we're not they're aware of this, the path that they're walking down will meet a tragic fate. And I guess in some sense that kind of karma, the kind of like realization that this person is pretty much on a train wreck of their own kind of course and choosing is it gives you some level of satisfaction.